Yeah. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I'm going at dirty rappers, lynching dirty more school. Hiding literature that Drew wrote to warn you. They claim to make you Muslim and make you sovereign. The paperwork and filings is fiat, they robbing. They don't care about his words, throw it out like garbage or throw it at you when you're active, not passive. When they want to talk about like off a trampoline mattress, treat them like a vamp or a teen actress. Get stabbed with the brand like a mean savage. This inquisition's divine, all others average. Millennium Renaissance, heroes in our classes. Fed up with the czar controlling fascists. Ask if they heard about Moors, they say no. But Masons, they obviously know. Down the handshakes and rituals with skull and bones. They even know about Owl's murder in Bohemian Grove. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. Dirty Moors killed Drew. I read the FBI papers on loyal Moors, emergency fund rapers, Moorish literature and divine bylaw changes. Might as well say Drew Ali was born in a manger. Prophet pushed poison aside and his food smelled danger. Got me treating every Moor like a stranger. Grand Chief Wankin stumbling drunk in their fez. What was proclaimed for every meeting was not read. Some Moors are so active, prophet can't be dead. Thanks Moorish teachers away, I can't be led. Actions speak, then I consider what's said. And what's said was study, then study yourself. Honest to the prophet over Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. Everybody wants to be just like Drew Ali, but nobody wants to care about Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. Ask the Garveyite and the NOI too. How come you don't know about Drew? Ask your teacher, Master Masons, or your seafood. How come you don't know about Drew? Go ask the Reverend, ask your fam or crew. How come you don't know about Drew? Ask the warlocks of rap, sipping evil witches brew. How come you don't know about Drew? Elijah Poupée is the Moorish national. Elijah Muhammad is the straw man shadow. New York after Malachi is owned by the British. Zadok El is on the blue waiting for the idiots. Master of gods is Nuwapian's birthright. Teach from Nuwapian Moors paper they wanna fight. Circle 7 is the universal flag. I rep that. And Clarence 13X is my dad. Drew Ali came first to save the mindless masses. Went from Moorish conventions to conscious classes. Went from feathers to koofies to baseball hats. Went from Rasta to Moorish. Replace outside. Replace the RPG banner with a Moroccan flag. Replace Ross with cheek. Blast ghetto tag. Till I see Triple Crown is the fez with no tassel. Showing temple cards as ID with no hassle. Ask the Garveyite and the NOI too. How come you don't know about Drew? Ask your teacher, Master Masons, or your seafood. How come you don't know about Drew? Go ask the Reverend, ask your fam or crew. How come you don't know about Drew? Ask the warlocks of rap, sipping evil witches brew. How come you don't know about Drew? Illuminate rap and Masons, rhyming Moorish science, hip-hop renaissance, reverse Earth's global climate. Out the dark ages, many pages get burned without the chance to flip, be read or turn. No learning, blacks enslaved by the vermin. The Moors victim to Inquisition is purging. The government violating the covenant of contract. Hip-hop general, Iron Sheik, no squad, the bomb track. Moors branded like Louisville slugger bass. With a name not theirs, void ab initio contract. Most don't get it, cause they don't study the law. But they come from the galaxy behind the furthest star. To fight legal battles, they hire the bar. Who obtains lead cause you abandoned your rights thus far. Told you on Iron Sheik 2, no need to represent. Just study the prophet and what he presents. Most don't stand for what he defends. Most elders over their mouth, they need their pens. Higher self ascends, lower he descends. Conscious without a nation means he pretends. She pretends, which means we pretend. Pick up abandoned birthrights and the healing begins. Build on pillars strong like 7 Northern Ledge 2 twins. Iron Sheik 100%, most are partly skimmed. Ask the Garveyite and the NOI2. How come you don't know about Drew? Ask your teacher, Master Masons, or your seafood. How come you don't know about Drew? Go ask the Reverend, ask your fam or crew. How come you don't know about Drew? Ask the warlocks of rap, sipping evil witches brew. How come you don't know about Drew? All Moors are active, never passive. All Moors are active, never passive. Before I nationalized in 2007, I used to wonder why Moors talk like a reverend. God drew Ali like a religious idol, and that I have to listen to them because they're the station or title. Moorish pastors active, Moors actors. Mina Bay, that one was for you right there, if you were listening. To answer your question, listen to how Moors rhyme. Forget whoever you've been listening to. All Moors are active, never passive. All Moors are active, never passive. Before I nationalized in 2007, I used to wonder why Moors talk like a reverend. God drew Ali like a religious idol, and that I have to listen to them because they're the station or title. Moorish pastors active, Moors actors. God drew like a parrot and they're the parrots. On the shoulder, repeating everything, never doing. Constantly trying to stagnate the movement. Drew said new Moors will come with eyes wide open, seeing and knowing, not the kind hoping. Move up from belief to faith into fruition. Couldn't answer my question, but you want me to listen. When I mention HL, or Taj to be paid, they dissing. Saying Moors are on a suicidal mission. Moors told me I'll get locked up, don't follow Taj. The sheriffs have authority with a 6-point badge. Don't follow nature, babe, he's not a Moor. But when I watch his classes, he's saying much more. When I mention Dawid Ali El in Mecca, if words can injure, that Moor would be on a stretcher. When I mention Elihu, they say he lied too. But they always say Circle 7 is the most Bible. They engage me, so I say they do. Didn't want me to be on the lessons that I drew.
Same people would sit around and say, you know, these crackers stole everything. These crackers don't have nothing if it wasn't for us. But then we'll sit right around and turn around and say that we are taking from them, from Tim, 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 from Tim.
Pastors get mad when I call them out, asking where's the unity when I call them out. My union is to the prophet and a lot of sentiment, not the temple more sheep wanting my attention, begging me to follow UCC 1 on the straw to get me under contract when I wasn't before. They don't even care about void ab initio, still saying the African Moors to Scipio Africanus. Prophet Taylor since Pan-American Conference and all the passive nonsense. This is not the Islam pushing bomb threat carts. True Moors are part selling part.
We are the original Masons, okay? Not the European. Yes, they did take it and conquer the world, okay? But that's not theirs. Masonry does not belong to the Europeans. Europeans.
Islam Moors, peace and love. Islam to the good brother Hanif. Brother Hanif L. Coach of the year, all that. You think Moors aren't out here uplifted our people? So, as usual, people see stuff out there, they send us stuff, and then we clap our hands together We rub our hands and we say, yes, it's holy day. We could have a class today. Yes, we have a reason for class today. We have a reason for class. Just, again, to put on the record, Noble Drew Ali and what he brought for the people who are out here classified as Negro, Black, Colored, African, whatever conscious thing they want to call themselves, Wakandians, whatever. All them people had a prophet. And the prophet came to them with a message to help them get out of all the BS that they're complaining about right now. Every single problem would have been solved if our people stuck to the program. They didn't stick to the program because they don't study and their own sold them out. We figured it out. The reason why our people are in the condition that they're in, because they don't study, one, and two, because they don't study, they don't know who the sellouts are, so they keep getting played by their own people, and they're looking at the European, like, why are you doing this to us? You shouldn't do this to us. We have rights and all this type of stuff. It's not the European that's violating you. European is being European. That's just how they do. You don't know by now? You're tripping. You don't know by now? Then you're tripping. You might as well turn in your turban, fez, and all that stuff and go back to that state where the prophet found you. An unstudied Negro pretending to be black who thinks that they're conscious, but they're claiming to be inanimate objects which have no consciousness or conscience. But it's all right. That's why we just do what we do, uplift all humanity. Put the word out. Whoever wants to get on game, they're going to get on game. Simple. So, in the beginning of the chat, Sister Mina Bay asked, am I nationalized? And if so, how? Now again, we come from the era where there was so much light, dirty Moors were only in corners where light can't go. So when we came in, when our looking at the Moorish movement and thinking, hey, as a black guy, should I be part of this? Because I'm already part of something. Not only am I already part of something, but I know that there's more. And this organization seems like one that I should be part of. Because the message was plain. You are not Negro, black, colored. Declare your nationality and take your place amongst the affairs of men. Because you're actually Moors. This is your birthright. This is not some package we got to sell you. So from our inception, we were brought up that birthright is you better go study if you're going to say you're a Moor. You're not just going to take on the title of a doctor and go cut people open. Same thing with this. This is a science. It's not some join up, be part of some stuff because you have some test from somebody that said, yeah, you're, and then that's what you are. Noble Drew Ali told us what we are. So I wasn't nationalized. I declared my nationality, proclaimed my nationality for the public record. And, you know, I have the public record to prove. You just go look up Kudjo Ado El and you'll see stuff. to show you who that is on the public record, whether it's newsprint or whether it's video or YouTube or whatever, you'll find stuff. And there's a repetitious action of being a Moor. So I declared my nationality, proclaimed my nationality. And that was because that's how we were taught. Like, that's how we were taught. We weren't taught that somebody can give this to me or I can buy this from somebody. That's not how we were taught being a Moor or saying we're Moors or using the names El Bey, Al, Ali, Day, having a fez, wearing a turban, you know, giving honors to Noble Drew Ali, going to your temple meetings, paying your dues, whatever. We were directly given this the way that everybody else was supposed to get it. And that's how we're still relevant. You know how many people came through this claiming that they're the whoever and they're not around now since 2008 when we came into this? Yo, you know how much people said that they were a name? They were whoever. They have the whatever. Made thousands of people. Yo, thousands of people. And they're not around no more? All we're seeing is new people trying to front like they've been around. They ain't been around. We've been around since 2008. And even before that, because we already told you, when we were on the black whatever, we were bringing Hemet here. We were bringing Black Dot here. We were bringing Dr. Kaba here when he was Booker T. Coleman. What are you talking about? We were bringing Queen Mother Emaku here for the mothers to have a mother that's on some different heights. And then after 2008, come to find out that that's one of the Moors' cousins and stuff like that. So it was really before 2008. But just so you have a timeline to know that 10 years ago, 80% of the people that you see today talking about they're teaching you something, they weren't around no 10 years ago, 15 years ago. People who claim to have the whatever for you, they're the whatever, king whoever. And everybody has a title, and everybody has some type of jurisdiction that they're claiming is the supreme jurisdiction. Well, what are you talking about? Noble Drew Ali already did that. How about just be Moors? And that's all we do. Meet with Moors who are being Moors. Build relationships with Moors, being Moors. Right? Moors had it so locked they didn't have to sue. Do you know? Okay, really think about this, right? Really think about this. And for the record, Dr. Aleem El Bey, who everybody knows, conscious community guys, they know him, metaphysics guy and all that stuff. You don't play around talking about the Moor stuff, but all the other stuff, oh yeah, Aleem's their guy. They'll rep him on all the other stuff. When it comes to Mars, oh no, you're not even going to touch that stuff. But don't worry, go let Aline tell you about '08. And them going into these tribunals. Magistrate is in there. Bailiff, whoever, everybody on that side is in the building. Bailiff gets crazy. Bailiff gets crazy, right? Tells the Moor, take off that hat or whatever. Before the Moor could say, it's not a hat, judge is telling him, hey, what did you just say? Well, I'm telling him to take off his hat because he's a... And the judge ripped this bailiff to shreds. Court didn't even start yet. Ripped the bailiff to shreds. You think Moors didn't have this locked? What are you talking about? Sue somebody. Sue who for what? Nobody was touching Moors. What are they touching Moors for? For what? What Moors doing? Other than trying to wake up their people. And whatever skill or whatever it is that they have, they're applying that to their life so they can live like anybody else. You know, Moors doing, claiming no houses and stuff like that. Moors are going to the mayor personally and getting all the stacks of stuff. You'll pick what you want. That wasn't just Taj that was happening to. That was happening to Moors all over the country, especially Moors down south. Because the jurisdiction of the South is constitutional. They don't play the statute ordinance BS. They play sheriffs, deputies, constitutional enforcement. Or completely rogue. And they're doing their own thing because they have the right to do that once they're in that corporate jurisdiction. Imagine you have court. You got your papers and all that stuff. You have court. And then you're just a black guy. You got a ticket or something. And you're going to court. You have a date on the paper. You have something from them saying you have court today. When you go to the court's closed. Come to find out that there was a case, some driving BS, involving Moors. And because this jurisdiction only had one courthouse, because it's just a small jurisdiction, and Moors just happened to be there, found out about this information like anybody else. Oh, we're not Negroes and stuff like that. Oh, that's what grandma meant when she said whatever and all that, and we're not from Africa and all that stuff. Okay, now I get it. They go to court, court's closed, because a Moor had a case. How do you know that? Because the Moor was out there for the court, because he had a paper to say, come on this day. Doors locked. So how we came into this is really not how majority of people, because majority of people had to swim through the BS to find this. Do you hear the people who we were bringing here for lectures? Like, we were in. We were shoulder to shoulder with everybody. All we had to do is reach over and tap, hey, aren't you so-and-so from the video of the whatever? Hey, man, we need your number so we can run. Black Dot have hip-hop conference. I come down here to perform and all that. And we were in. So we already know what's up. We're not from New York and all that. We're from Toronto. From Toronto. Traveling all the way here. Going to Chicago and get chartered to be a Morris Science Temple and all that. For what? For us to be playing people out of their stuff that's theirs? And as soon as we see the dirty one, cut their Achilles. So don't take this light. Don't you dare take this light and look at this like some stuff that you're used to. Right? There's a prophet by the name of Noble Drew Ali that you don't know about. You know about all these other you know about all them. But the one that brought you the most, you know nothing about. But you know about all the people who brought you nothing, brought you crumbs. Brought you crumbs to the point where they were eating at his table, and all they gave you was crumbs. They were eating at Noble Drew Ali's table. That's how they got their crumbs that they gave you. Have you thinking what the crumbs you got is something? Playing you. Just because you let them. Because you don't want to study. So because you don't study, your ass gets sold out by your own. We're not Negro, black, colored. We're not that. As soon as somebody starts talking that, know that they're selling you out. This is not opinion. This is universal law, international law, fact. You received your warning by Noble Drew Ali. But you didn't think he was a prophet. You thought he was just some black guy with the funny hat with the strings on it. Okay. We'll see how funny it is. Let's see how funny it is that this bucket hat black guy came with a message to you that really wasn't a message, it was a warning, because he said warning. Divine warning on top of that. He paid him no mind. Laughing at Moors. You're not Moors. We can't be that. That means Romans. Sell out your birthright. The citizens of all free national governments, according to their national constitution, are all of one family bearing one free national name. Those who fail to recognize the free national name of their constitutional government are classed as undesirables and are subject to all inferior names and abuses and mistreatments that the citizens care to bestow upon them. And it is a sin for any group of people to violate the national constitutional laws of a free national government and cling to the names and the principles that delude to slavery. Right? Real simple, right? It's really not hard to digest. If you don't have a free national name, you're classified as property. And because you're property, you're subject to abuses and mistreatments that citizens care to bestow upon you, that corporations could bestow upon you. You have to take that because you choose to not have a free national name. You choose to play like you know law, but you're in a dead status. If you're in a dead status, law does not apply to you. And again, we're not with this marching, picketing, and all this BS. We're not with setting up something in front of some place where somebody got shot and we gotta unite because it's too much of abuse of our human rights. You're not human. You're calling yourself black. That's not human. You're not human when you say that. If you say black people, you said you're not human. So don't talk any BS about some human rights that you got and somebody has to respect something. And you're going to sue them because we have thousands of cases of black guys go to court and they're supposed to have won and they lost. How'd they lose when they're supposed to win? Oh, because the white man, no, because he's in a dead status. He's Dred Scott. A European, black guys, I keep bringing it up, but they're missing the point that if you don't have a free national name, you're classified as these people's property, period. This is where we are at as Moors. We're trying to put you onto something, and you keep listening to these people that are selling you out instead of listening to Moors. Even if you listen to dirty Moors, at least they know they're Moors. At least they know if these highwaymen come to me or whatever like that, I'm El Bay. You don't got no jurisdiction over me. The religious Moors or whatever. Oh, no, we got the religious corporation, Moor Science Temple of America, and you can't do anything to us because we're protected under the corporation. We're part and partial with the said government, so you can't violate us. At least they know they're Moors. Telling these people selling you out. And all you're seeing is people's suits looking better. People's chain getting longer. People's life is freaking amazing. They got to fly all over the goddamn place. Go here, go there at your expense because you're paying for that BS. And then they touch down and they come and tell you some BS. And then you're running with it. And then the people who are right there in the community that's been there on the ground, boots to the ground, saving people, you're not even paying them any attention. You want the flying guy to be the savior. Ain't no saviors. If you don't have a free national name, you're their property, period. You want to play Negro, black, colored? Fine. Don't complain about the abuses and the mistreatments that you get from the citizens that bestow that on you because you choose not to have a free national name. And Islam to Baba TV everywhere. Because remember, he was the one that came to the Moor Science Temple of America here in order to film the Kudro presentation when Ali Muhammad wanted to debate. Like something's debatable. So Super Islam to Brother Baba TV everywhere. That's how everywhere he is. He was even in Canaanland. Just so people don't get it twisted, because, you know, we like to use people's videos and beat them up or whatever. This is not a beat up on Baba TV. Honors to that brother. Supreme honors. Because he's even around the freaking same dirty snakes who would say he's a European because he's so light. And this, so he's not supposed to be in no conscious stuff and whatever like that. Paid his dues. Went through all that discrimination BS. And I know because we've been around to know that people even try to play him. Look at the work that he's been putting in for these Negroes. No respect, no honor. But they want you to chase them down. They want you to go buy their stuff. They're not even delivering the stuff that they sell you. You got 2 years you're waiting for a t-shirt. Chasing after clowns and not supporting the real.
What's the call, sir?
ID for?
We ain't loading either.
12 trips. Yeah, that sounds like jump outside the city. ID, stop at bricks.
Don't show him, bro. Don't show him.
Now, how did he know who to go to? He made a blanket statement or a question. Anybody got IDs? Anybody got IDs? But he singled out a specific individual.
No search, I ain't commit no crime. I ain't considered no search. Damn. All right, so everybody, let's calm down, okay?
So you're chilling or whatever. Highwayman rolls up. Remember, those who fail to recognize the free national name of their constitutional government are classed as undesirables and are subject to all inferior names, ID, abuses, let me see your waistband, and mistreatments, searching without a warrant. Like, where was the probable cause? Unless these guys know what's up. He probably had interaction with him already, know that he already has his piece on him or whatever like that. You know, we don't know what the... But we know that right here, right now, going on is abuses and mistreatments right now. Regardless whether he had a gun or not. That's irrelevant. Because you don't know why he has that. So we don't need to speculate. We just know that it's there. Because now this gives probable cause for them to get everybody. Because they're classed as undesirables. baseball hats, t-shirts on the head. So nothing to say. Look at them. That guy has a vest that says police on it. That guy has a vest that says police on it. They get out of a car that said police. The other guy's gonna come up. They're gonna have a vest for police. Oh, so that means notice, right? Would they have a reason to stop if everybody out here had fezzes on? And we bring that up because, you know, there's Moors who have had these encounters that this never happens. And they might even have their strap on. Because as a Moor, they have constitutional rights. And everybody knows those rights can only be violated if somehow you're in a dead status and they can tie you to that dead status to give them jurisdiction to say, let me see your waistband. Realize what's going on here, right? So look at this like a raid. Look at this like a ride program. Driver block the road, stop you, and ask you questions. And they're doing this in multiple places. They're only doing this in the places where these people are at, that are the class as undesirable people who want to do everything except have a free national name. When it comes to them having a free national name, they void that. They don't even entertain the thought of free national name and declaring that you're a Moor, in order to stop the abuses and mistreatments that the citizens care to bestow upon them. So remember now, they put them on notice because they have the stuff on the vest. They gave an offer, IDs. Right? They already know that the people are in a dead status. That's why they sent him. Because he's black too. So it's easier to get in, which again is going back to the whole thing of your own selling you out. Because just like shares and deaths in schools, bodies in prisons are money. Fiat dollars, bookkeeping entries. Stock on the ledger. Since 1913, this has been presented to our people. Since 1913, that all free national governments, citizens, have a national constitution. And all those citizens bear one free name. And it's a national name. It's not a citizen name. It's not a religious name. It's not a slave name. It's not a surname. It's a national name. And those who fail to recognize the free national name fall into the jurisdiction of war. automatically. Right? So in a de facto system, now they have probable cause to search everybody. Because White Shirt was in the jurisdiction. Because he went directly to him. There's no way you have all these people right here and you're going directly to him, to his waistband. Right? That's like the guys who have a lecture and then they go to the lecture early. And they work out where everybody's going to sit. So when question time comes, they can be in the stands and ask questions to make stuff look good. Make things go the way it's supposed to go. Went right to the guy with the strap after he asked everybody for ID. And they're like, nah, we don't got to show you ID, whatever, whatever, like that. Okay, oh, you guys are playing it on the jurisdiction? We're going to bring you into jurisdiction. And it's all because of no free national name. No free national name, that means you have no free national standards. If you have no free national standards, you might be just have a gun on you. That's endangering the public because there's a park right over there. And your gun might fall out and go off and shoot somebody. But they got guns. It's cool. Their gun can't fall because it's in the holster with the clip. And we got the safety act of whatever that our guns are, you know, but you can't have anything. You have to give up your arms, but they can keep their arms. Don't be caught without a free national name. These people aren't playing out here.
Yeah, crazy.
No. Those are rather friendly. I mean, if he just found a gun on a dude, look at the dude, look at the backup guy. A little too casual. A little too casual. Too friendly. All the stuff that we see, you know, they come out blazing if they find a toolie on you. Just chilling.
Man, hold the fuck up. Nah, but I ain't touch him, bro. He ain't even doing nothing. What's your call, bro?
Well, right now we just found one.
I don't care. I don't know him.
And he's hanging out with y'all.
He's not hanging.
Remember, Christian black codes. That as soon as the black slave guys start congregating and they start pretending like everything's cool and we're just chilling, here come the slave catchers. And they're trying to talk about, what do you mean, we're free or whatever? And they got torn up jeans and torn up shirts and all that stuff talking about they're free. Just talking BS. You're coming back to the plantation. All right. Christian black codes. Go read them. And they apply to so-called Negro, black, colored people who don't want to have a free national name. So you're classed as undesirables. And the citizens could have some setup dude that had a toolie on him. Homeboy goes directly to him. Now everybody's in the jurisdiction. Because now they got probable cause to search everybody. Which is supreme violation of their rights. Because ain't no warrant came out yet to say they even had jurisdiction to get out their car. And the reason they got out of the car was because of the car back there with the dark tint. Now again, the generation that we came up in, Moors were exercising right to travel. They had Moorish tags. They had their quote-unquote car. They had the manufacturer's certificate of origin. They didn't register anything with the state. They had their nationality card. They had the right to travel card or right to travel paperwork and right to travel card. They didn't have any insurance. And they weren't even getting stopped. Forget getting stopped or there's a problem with you or whatever. Not only Moors that did get stopped, and Moors getting ready to put all the stuff on them like, yo, these are my papers, here's my nationality card. I just want to let you know your tail lights out. Thank you very much. You have a good night, sir. Yep, you have a good night, sir. With the Moorish tags? No questions? Nothing? You stop me, you put the lights on and all that stuff to tell me my tail lights out. Everything's that cool. Like there's no issues, no worries. No, just letting you know your tail lights out. This is just like, and we started thinking like the colonists till Noble Drew all these started dropping, all right? So let's look at the curb as the bank and the car as the ship that brought them here. And their jurisdiction was the 13 colonies, which is up to that bank right there. How are they all up in here? How they get up all in here? Oh yeah, they found a guy who would be down with them to take them further into all the movies they show you, all the indigenous whatever movies show you. The one sellout who told the Europeans, hey, how you doing? Yes, I am hunting eagle. And I noticed that your bed sucks. Well, this is how we make beds around here. And they made bed for them or whatever. Like, matter of fact, why sleep here? You know, you can come back with me to the village, you know. We have lots of women and lots of men. And then they get run out of their own stuff because some sellout. Right? One thing about Moors that have the strap would tell all the other Moors, yo, just so you know, I have the strap. Just so that in a situation like this, that individual that they found a strap on, if this is a real situation, right? He would have came up, hey, yep, that's my strap. That had nothing to do with nobody else. Nobody else has nothing. Here's my license or whatever. If he has license for it, whatever like that. And then that's that. End of story. Because he owned up to the jurisdiction. And would be on him to say, they're not in the jurisdiction. You found it on me. I'm letting you know that it's registered. Here's the stuff. If you need that or whatever, they have nothing to do with this. And then if they're constitutional, then everything's cool. Nobody got harmed. You know, nothing going on. Oh, you got your stuff registered? All right, cool. Oh, it's not registered? Well, you know, we gotta go. We have a conversation with you about why you got this unregistered stuff. And that's his issue. Just like dude with the car. That's his issue. Although the car, how the car jurisdiction get all the way on the sidewalk? That they're in the building. Because people class as undesirables, have no free national name, so they have no free national standards to show that they're not in the jurisdiction of the wards. We know that there's wards out here. That's cool, but I'm not in that jurisdiction. You're not going to classify me as one of them. If they're not going to say who they are to you, then that's on them. But when you see me, you deal with me in my free national name and my free national standards. Yeah, but you look just like, yeah, I know. But they want to be Negro black colored. I'm not Negro black colored. I have nationality and birthrights. Forget I'm celestial being, I'm divine thought of Allah and all that stuff. Forget that. You don't have no jurisdiction. I'm not your ward. Because remember, it's all part of what has to be done. Because this thing is done. You don't want to listen, and Nas told these people that you're Moors, then King Alfred plan in full effect. Everybody's under Christian black codes if you're not proclaiming who you are. This is not anything but the first paragraph of this 3-page plea that Noble Drew Ali made to you people who don't want to be Moors. You don't want to be Moors?
With all this stuff that's out here, plus you know, you sitting in front of an area.
She said we can sit right here,
I
bro.
don't think so.
Call her and ask her.
I don't think so.
Call Miss Dapper and ask. I ain't showing you my waistband, bro, because I ain't do nothing, bro. Nigga crazy as shit, bro.
That man was just walking past, man. That man was just walking past, man. Y'all put him in the home, man.
That's what I have to do, the sirens and stuff, get the energy in their favor. Right? You think some red, blue, white lights flashing and yellow stuff and horns and stuff like that is not them manipulating the energies? Like really box you into jurisdiction. Like, have you literally in the jurisdiction that you're not even supposed to be in? Because you're supposed to have free national standards and free national name. That there's no issue. There's absolutely no mistake being made as to whether you're a ward of the crown or not, or a ward of the state, or a ward of the corporation. We don't want to sound mean because we know you're all emotional and stuff like that, and you're getting your feelings. Why more is talking to us like that? And then the boogers running down in your mouth before you just go blow your nose. You're just sitting there letting the booger run in your mouth. So you're in your feelings. Are you guys tired of the BS? You really don't, like, you really just thinking that some European just violating you. You're not seeing that it's your own that's working with them, not just the European only. We're not talking about all Europeans. And we're not talking about all Asiatics. But there's a batch in both who are about this stuff continuing, always. Always. Because, you know, I mean, we could not say anything. We could be like the people who said, you know, take this underground, forget this. But nah. Because too much people are waking up. When Moors are in countries with different languages and stuff like that, and they're showing us stuff that says Ali and Bey, and it's spelled like Ali and Bey in some other language, whether their language is written, not written, whatever, they got something to represent Ali for sure, and maybe Bey, and sometimes L. Places who their language doesn't even matter to us. You know what Ali is. And you're in denial of your own Ali that came to you. This channel is for you people who don't know about your birthrights. This is not for Moors. You see Moors in the chat, you think they're here for they're here hopefully that you're gonna see that this is real. We're like, there's Els and Bays out here. It's not just some two-man show or something like that. There's really Moors. Like all over. People who know, prominent people who know. Highest levels of media and whatever know. Sports, science, academia, like everybody knows. But everybody wants to be third party to the Moors. Nobody wants to be the Moors, except Moors. So Islam told the Moors, peace and love to you all for knowing that you're Moors, declared your nationality, and your being your ancient foremothers and forefathers in 2018 or whatever. Islam to all you Moors.
no suspicion, especially based on that. I want to limit that. I don't want to put it on everybody. What you got to do right here every day is let you sit down, let you do your thing. I don't know nothing about what the fuck just happened.
Mo, this nigga crazy.
Like, yeah. What the fuck?
Man, fuck no.
I ain't no you can video back up. You can video. Back up on your touch. I'm telling you back up. Okay, y'all put me far enough. No, step out behind the line. I can't see. Go that way. You need to back up, okay? You need to back up. Let's start back. Don't touch me, bro. You're not touching me. No, just pick up the chair and go.
Just keep in mind, let it ring in your head, right? Those who fail to recognize the free national name of their constitutional government are classed as undesirables and are subject to all inferior names and abuses and mistreatments. Abuses and mistreatments that the citizens, which are part of corporations, the citizens, not the nationals, the citizens care to bestow upon them. Now, what could we call this? Noble Drawley's prophecy manifesting? Yeah, we can, because he talked about this happening. If you don't recognize your free national name, keep playing this BS that you're black people and you're Negroes and you're colored people. Oh, you're Africans? Oh, yeah, you came over on a slave ship. All right. Oh, you're a Nibiru and you come from some other planet, but you're on Earth. Okay, all right. Yep. Keep playing that you don't want to honor your foremothers and forefathers. I'm not concerned with people older than me personally, because, you know, you already made your choice. And there's ones older than me that they've been made their choice that they're Moors. So what the hell are you, how come you guys don't want to know? How come y'all didn't get it? If those people that are older than me that know that they're Moors, then what the hell's wrong with you people who don't know that you're Moors? How come they know? Well, the same thing with our generation that we're, hey, how come we? And then realize that this is a theme. Why is this a theme? Because after 1929, when everybody was united as Moors under the Moorish Science Temple of America and the Moorish Divine National Movement, Moorish Holy Temple of Science, UNIA, Ahmadiyya Movement, Moorish Jews of Harlem, when everybody was united as Moors, after Noble Drawley passed, people who knew what was up jumped ship and started calling themselves Negro, Black, Colored again and sold your asses out. Now, this is what you get. Been getting. I got this. I already know that that's what's up. Not speaking from not being shooken down by them for no reason, them going in the pockets for nothing, just because they have a vest that says police. What do you mean you could just go in my pockets? Oh, but I was a dumb nigger. I didn't know any rights. I didn't know I had a free national name. I didn't know I had a profit. I knew it was real when me and some brothers got pulled down because a brother had a gun lighter. He had a gun lighter. And after they did the gun with the scope and the laser pointing at the door, and then you have to back up slowly and 10 lasers on your chest while you're backing you up or whatever like that, because they got a call about a gun. And brothers had half quarters on them, ounce on them. Some brothers had dirt on them. Like, we're not here for none of that. We're only here for guns. That's all we're here for. We don't care what else you got. All we're here for is guns. Give everybody back their stuff, their work, everything. Like, we're not here for that. Jumped in their car, took off like nothing happened. People standing around. This is before camera phone and stuff like that. So, you know, people were just watching. Standing around looking dead of winter. Man's behind snowbanks, have the gun on the snowbank, all of that. So I know about the nigger treatment. I know about the cuffs too tight, and you know, you can't even sit in the back, tall people, right? I know the tactics that these people do. So this is not some, you know, merely just look at the black guys get violated. We told you that that's what they're gonna do, and King Alfred plan and whatever like that. Well, not just that. It's really the etch into your head why you're getting it. Why are you the only ones getting it like this? Remember, go back to the beginning. Like, really analyze this thing. They're dealing with some guy's car that has too much tint. The initial stop, the initial reason why they were where they were is because there was a car parked that was too much tint on it. I don't see I can't see the universe working that they're just going to pinpoint this guy. He has a gun, and then now everybody's down in on this now. Now everybody's in the jurisdiction. When they're talking about a car with tint, what the hell does that have to do with anybody on the curb? Give him his ticket for his no tint, and then they go about their business. Tint car guy could have been in on it.
That's too close. Go to the edge of the building right here. Nah, right here. Check the bag.
No, don't touch my bag, bro. Are you touching my bag, bro? Ain't nothing in it.
Based on the gun I recovered off the gun.
Okay, that wasn't me. Get off me, bro. Get off me. You're not touching. Get off me. What you talking about? This side. It don't matter. She ain't called you. What you talking about? She said we can sit right here. Did you get a call about laundering right here? All right, then. Fuck off, then.
You can act your video, do whatever you want.
Yeah, I know. Back up.
This is not a weed spot. It's not a place.
Yeah, we never said it was. We chilling. Fuck you talking about?
Going down the street.
Hey, no, hey, excuse me, sir, that's mine. Your hand. No, that's my idea. Come on, man. I'm 21 years old. Y'all can put my name up in the system. Y'all do it any other time.
That nigga crazy.
Plenty of times I done had my idea.
Get up, man. Good stuff,
Come on, man.
Man, what brother they got the dog on though? Fuck, he was with them, bro. I'm telling you, real live, bro. Was with them, bro. Real live, bro. That nigga gone, bro.
I'm just making sure everything.
Right? Where do you go to? Where's the guy that had the piece? Watch out here.
That's why weed out here. I'm not doing that. Shut the fuck up. Get that
I'm over here. Step back. Step back.
I don't got it back there.
You need to
Let
step
you
back.
touching me. Step back. Oh, why you touching me?
Don't provoke my man.
Why you touching me?
Don't test my belief. Don't test my belief. We got that shit on camera. Why you touching them, bro? Why you touching them, bro? Get back.
Stay over there. You're not scaring me.
He's a hole, nigga.
See the cross? Christian black codes, remember? And what did they say? What did they bring? They brought the Bible and they brought the gun. They brought the Bible and the gun. Still repping it. With who? With who? The classified undesirables that want to remain this, want to remain getting this type of treatment. Moors around here getting bowed to, we tell you. Moors around here got people want to take pictures so they could email it to their family back home because they never seen a fez in a long time. Highwayman taking pictures with Moors. Not going through this BS. You have these people supremely violating everything. Oath of honor, law enforcement code of ethics, everything violated. They're going to talk about any of that? Nah. Not going to talk about that. They're going to talk about some civil rights got violated. They're not going to talk about denationalization. They're not going to talk about the things that would get our people free. They talk about the things that are going to get the public to, yeah, okay, sure, we can do some more marching. Yeah, we can have more conferences and all that stuff. People straight playing. Straight playing.
So I was reading something.
Straight playing. Right? Playing. Don't get caught up. Declare and proclaim who you are. You really have to consider your Moorish ancestry as how you're going to acquire freedom. Because we're telling you as Moors, you know, we've been on both sides. And declaring nationality, that's really what's up. For real, for real. You can't be anything else around here. We're living proof. Like group home, living proof, like we're living proof that this can really assist our people. If our people realize what it is without the feelings and the emotions and the leaders and the whoever. Think for yourself.
Back up. Fuck you talk about. Get the fuck out my face, nigga. Fuck. Yeah, he got me. He got me. Back up. Don't touch. Don't fucking touch me.
Don't do that.
Bitch ass nigga, you a hoe. You's a hoe.
Yeah, we got all that shit. Y'all go roll out. Roll the fuck out.
You look angry. I'm not angry.
Roll the fuck out.
Stand back. Stand back.
Can I get your badge back? Can I get your badge back?
Yes, 1449. Go on back.
Don't pedestrian. Fuck piece of shit. I ain't got shit for y'all right here. Y'all can roll out there.
Bring it up and clear the street.
Take y'all man. Come here.
You clear the street. Go the fuck out. Stop the threat. Okay? What the fuck happened?
Man, Slim. That nigga was with them, ho. That nigga was with them, ho. That nigga was with them, ho. That nigga was with them. They won't smack up on your man, ho. This nigga crazy as shit. I could tell he was with them, bro. They ain't even pull their guns out when they saw this nigga had a gun.
Where you at now?
That nigga gone, fool.
Swear to God.
Nigga is gone, bro. That nigga is gone, ho. I swear to God, that nigga is gone, bro.
That ain't got nothing to do with it.
Get him.
Breaking and fucking
Stop what y'all doing.
Oh, that's what this is.
Hey, Mo, they crazy as shit, Mo.
Money.
Right? Good thing. Good thing. That the DC gang culture, street hood whatever culture, knows that they're Mo's, which is short for more, if you didn't really know. Short for more. And the street guys and the block guys and the hood guys and the guys who grew up or whatever like that in DC and all that stuff like that, and they call each other Mo, that's short for more. Again, let you know that they don't have jurisdiction. You find me a black guy who's going to be bumping chest to chest like that with some highwayman and not getting tackled to the ground and getting arrested. Think those highwaymen didn't know that they're dealing with Moors? Maybe not on paper, but etherically, because they're calling themselves Moors, they're dealing with Moors. Remember, they said out of their mouth that they're Mo's. They're calling each other Mo the whole time. The whole time they're calling each other Mo. Do you really recognize the whole time they were calling each other Mo? Probably Negro, black, color people out there who don't read signs and symbols and you don't study to know certain things. They were calling each other Mo the whole time. That's short for more. You thought it was some Negroes on the stoop, right? The only agent is the sellout guy who nobody knows where he is. Where is that guy that was just around here? Where did he go? Sell you out. Remember, the whole thing was supposed to be about a car that had too much tint on it. But the Mo's probably been dealing with this, with these same highwaymen. Now, after these people been saying that they're Mo's, which etherically they're declaring that they're Moors. They're declaring their nationality for a record in front of these highwaymen who have oaths to respect and honor when rights come to the table versus their statute and ordinance BS. Then here they come to try to reel you in. Nobody has looked at that video and said, hey, they're calling themselves Moors throughout the whole video. How come they didn't put that on the sovereign citizen, whatever, when they're dissing? Because nothing happened. Find me a black guy that's going to go chest to chest like that with a highwayman and not get tackled, choke hold. You talking about? We're not talking about some type of march where there's 1,000 Negroes yelling something. We're talking mano y mano. And all he could do is just talk. We know, we've seen with black guys talk some BS to highwayman and they're getting arrested. How come it didn't happen? But here they come with their BS now. After these people been telling you that they're Moors, these people who have jurisdiction, showing you, letting you know, yo, don't even try to come around here with some guy we don't know and think you're going to pin some stuff on Moors. Because it's not happening, because you don't have jurisdiction. We're not wards. But here they come, ready to put you back in the dead status after you just freed yourself.
My name is Imam Akbar Abdullah Kareem Bilal. I am the National Chief of Staff for the New Black Panther Party for Self-Defense. We've been brought here to Sheriff Road and Eastern to bring the attention to the corridor that exists between Eastern Avenue and Sheriff, which extends itself through Minnesota Avenue all the way to Good Hope Road. And there have been many incidents of all flavors. I think the Trumpism idea is both sides. Well, right now, the community side and the police side, we're taking a look at what is real police work in the black community and what is not by the book. We talk about revolution by the book and then going by the book and the good book, but there are violations of excessive force, abuse of power, unethical conduct, malfeasance, meaning a conduct that's been done by a paid or an elected official, which is unbecoming or which abandoned what you call the volition or the will of we the people. And to put the record straight, I guess the Divine had an incident to come about to bring community attention to the 5200 block of Sheriff Road, and where there has been some illegal procedures, and we're...
Now, hold on a second.
Avenue and Sheriff, which extends itself through Minnesota Avenue all the way to Good Hope Road. And there have been many incidents of all flavors. I think the Trump is both sides. Well, right now, the community side and the police side, we're taking a look at what is real police work in the black community and what is not by the book. We talk about revolution by the book and then going by the book and the good book, but there are violations of excessive force, abuse of power, unethical conduct, malfeasance, meaning a conduct that's been done by a paid or an elected official, which is unbecoming or which abandon what you call the volition or the will of we the people. And to put the record straight, I guess the divine had an incident to come about to bring community attention to the 5200 block of Sheriff Road, and where there has been some illegal procedures, and we're
No, sounds like people want to just try to play it like they're smart or something, because the International Association of Chiefs of Police has on their website the Law Enforcement Oath of Honor. On my honor, I will never betray my badge, my integrity, my character, or the public trust. I will always have the courage to hold myself and others accountable for our actions. I will always uphold the Constitution, my community, and the agency I serve. So you don't got to go through all that and talk about all this stuff and they're violating this and that. How about you just tell them that these people have a law enforcement oath of honor? But they have to reel you in. They have to set you up. They have to make it sound good before they denationalize you. Remember, they never talked about your status yet. They're talking about the rights that you're supposed to have. They're talking about the violations that certain people are doing while they're holding a public office. That's the same thing right here. You know, my character or public trust. He would never betray that. But if they just go right directly to the point, law enforcement oath of honor, then that makes you see how easy it is. You don't need these jokers. These aren't the Black Panthers from Huey P. Newton and all them. Not the Fred Hampton Panthers. Like, this is not them. These are a new breed of people. You're not connected to them. If they're connected to them, they wouldn't call themselves new. They're new. They're Moors. What do you think of berets? A beret is a fez. Just like Liberty Cap's a fez. What the hell are you talking about? Tell me these people are Moors? They got berets on? Beret even got the little nub in the middle. The little belly button. The little nipple. They're Moors. But they love to play their own. That's what they do best.
trying to see now is, has this been endorsed by the chief of police? Is this what we say is normal police procedure, or is there some violation or some signs of unethical conduct? And is there misuse or abuse of the DC MPD, Metropolitan Police Department uniform? What is the conduct? We need to know the code or the ethics, or what is the conduct of a police officer in the Black community? And so we have come today to...
There it is right there, right? Black community just buried you. Saying that you're a Moors, you're a Moorish community, but when they talk for you, you're a Black community. Sell you out.
Just put some emphasis on what has taken place so far and what we perceive to be what will be the future relationship between the black community and the Metropolitan Police Department here in Washington, D.C. So we are gathered here today. We have the representative, the Lost Found Nation of Islam. We have the community development, the Black Panther Party, the Black Lawyers for Justice, and we have with us the attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz, who had taken a personal interest and began to look into the police matters right in our own neighborhood, right here in Northeast Washington, D.C. So we're thankful for you all that showed up from the press to put some more information in the community as to how we should proceed, how we are to be approached by the police, what we are to do in case we are approached by the police, and then what is the conduct of the officer. We are still investigating what is the right conduct of a police officer in uniform. So right this afternoon, we have with us live our beloved attorney, the president of the Black Lawyers for Justice. We want to present to you our attorney, Malik Zulu Shabazz. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum, empowered people. Thank you, sir.
Come on, gentlemen. All right. Afternoon to Black press in general.
Right? Denationalizing. Quick, fast. Quick, fast denationalizing. It's what they do best. Keep you in a dead status. Now, just to back up the point. Just to back up the point. What are you doing? Always doing stuff. Just to stress the point.
Somebody at Bradley Bill, man. Tell him shut the fuck up. Talking about Mo is a motherfucking St. Louis turn. Nigga, let me school your bitch ass Bradley Bill. You dig what I'm saying? You play for the Wizards and you think you know DC, nigga. Mo don't come from motherfuckers, it's not a word, nigga. It's a terminology from dudes that was in law and that was more sciences, man. They used to greet each other like Islam, Mo. You know what I'm saying? Then they went into the streets once dudes was getting released. So there was a lot of Moors out there at that time, for real, coming out of that Lorton prison system. So that's how they would greet each other and speak to each other as in Islam, Mo. As Moors. You get what I'm saying?
You get what he's saying? So if everybody in DC who calls themselves Mo knows that, then how come these people are coming here calling them, telling them that they're black people? You think there's not a sellout? You think Protocols of Zion and all that stuff is some BS? You really... You think that I'm selling you out? How is it that the people in so-called DC know that they're Moors? Because they call themselves Moors. They call themselves Moors, which means Moors. Brother from DC just said it when he was punking Bradley Beal. Because Bradley Beal was trying to say that, oh, Mo comes from St. Louis or something like that. And even if he said it's coming from St. Louis, it's coming from Jerry Lewis Bay, who's a Moor. Don't forget to knowmoredaily.com. If you didn't know yet, No More Daily. Try your best. We just told you that they're talking to the people who just got violated by the highwaymen. The people who got violated by the highwaymen, they call themselves Moors, which the brother just broke down. Everybody in DC knows that Moors comes from Moors because Moors used to greet each other Islam Mo. Everybody in DC knew that? Everybody knew that. And these people are going to come in their jurisdiction and denationalize them under the guise of some black lawyer, black nation of Muslim, whatever, Black Panthers. Playing people. Stay playing people because that's what they do. Why? Because our people don't study. They want a savior. They want the guy who's going to come and put this white man in his place for them or whatever, when you're the one that's supposed to do that. Nobody's doing that for you.
We are here. I called this news conference about the events of June 13th that came to light on June 22nd. On June 13th, right here at this location, there was a wild attack by the Metropolitan Police Department upon citizens of the District of Columbia and residents of this community. There was a rogue attack, a wild attack by members of the Metropolitan Police Department and the Gun Recovery Unit as they violated the Fourth Amendment rights, the constitutional rights, and they violated the human rights.
What? Hold on a second. He never said that. Let's just pull this back up again. He didn't really say that. So remember, they just called them black people. And they call them black people, that means that they're outside of constitutional law. Because black does not identify people. Black is an adjective. And its etymology really means pale. So it's not talking about dark skin when somebody says black people. It's talking about a status of the people. Black people have no status. The only way that an attorney can speak for you is if you have no status. That's why an attorney is speaking for you. And he has a black office of attorneys that are working for the black whatever. It's real simple how they're playing you. And again, we were part of the campaign when they banned him from here. When the Europeans said, we don't want that black man to come here and teach because there's a lot of Jews here and they're offended by stuff that he says, so we're going to stop him at the border. We were black guys back then. Marching on Queen's Park and all that stuff for this guy. Marching for this guy. Have youths out there putting their life on the line, defending this guy who they're stopping at the border. They don't want him to come here because he's a Jew basher. And his stance is sell them out. His stance is classify them as Negro black colored, which he knows that there's a noble Jew Ali and a prophet that came and told these people that they're not Negro black colored. He knows and he says he honors noble Jew Ali and all that stuff. He honors noble Jew Ali, but he's telling you that he's black. And you're black. And you're black people. And that's a white man. If you're really riding with that, you're in trouble. You're in more trouble than you would ever imagine. For real, for real. An attorney is an officer of the court. If he's an officer of the court, then he's not speaking in your best interest. He's speaking in the court's best interest, which is keep you stateless. That's why he's calling you black. We're telling you, that's what it is. You don't have to listen to us. You know what I mean? We seen the letter from Ava Muhammad to Farrakhan talking about she went and checked out the Moors, and it seems like it's the thing that you should really do right now, being that you're the leader of our stuff. Because when I went there, the crescent and the star was in the sky, and it proved the unification of the Moor Science Temple and the Nation of Islam and all that stuff. Ava Muhammad, go ask her. Think they don't know what's up? Think we're just talking some BS? It's all about declare your nationality, you're Moors. But that's really what it's about. And recognizing that once you declare that you're a Moor, you have a duty and an obligation to uplift your brothers and sisters who don't know that they're Moors, and to support people who are doing the good work that you would consider good work. And that's it. And everything is going to run smooth. And you start talking about all this other stuff that you want to do because of your ego, that's why we're stagnant. Because people want to be the #1 guy that saved the planet. Right? They make sure they got a fade and a lineup for you. Fresh from the barber. You have no stubbles yet. It's not some highwayman thing. Highwayman been doing what they're doing. They ain't nothing new. We're the dummies that want to stay in a dead status and have the mistreatments follow us. Like, we're the ones. It ain't them. What are they doing? They're just doing what they do. Which is colonized. But you have to give them jurisdiction for them to do that. And once they have it, don't trust they're not letting go. Because they know what it means to not have. And they don't want to be there again. I, the prophet, was prepared by the great God Allah to warn my people to repent from their sinful ways and go back to the state of mind of their ancient forefathers' divine and national principles, that they will be law-abiders and receive their divine right as citizens according to the free national constitution that was prepared for all free national beings. So that's what the Moors did in near DC. They went back to the mindset of their ancient foremothers and forefathers, and the ancient foremothers and forefathers held them up. That he was chest to chest spitting profanities in a highwayman's face, and he couldn't do anything because he wasn't in the jurisdiction. Think they don't know? You better know that they know. They are to claim their own free national name and religion. There is but one issue for them to be recognized by this government and of the earth, and it comes only through the connection of the Moorish divine and national movement. By calling themselves Moors, they connected themselves to the Moorish divine and national movement. That's why they were protected. Even the Moors said it. Where'd that Moor go that they had found the Tulian? Where'd that all go? You who doubt whether I, the prophet, and my principles are right for the redemption of my people. Go to those that know law. Moors. Right? So those of you who doubt what Noble Drew Ali is saying, go to those who know law. In the city hall and among the officials in your government. In your government. The officials in your government, go ask them. Yeah, you realize that as Negro Black colored, you don't have any officials of any government because you're stateless. So go to those who know law. Go in the city hall. And you just ask in an intelligent tone and you'll get a favorable reply. And once you get that favorable reply, it's because they realize that you're out of darkness and you're in the light now. Why are you in the light? Because you know that you're Moors and that you're not Negro Black colored, you're not these people's serf.
There was a wild attack by the Metropolitan Police Department upon citizens of the District of Columbia and residents of this community. There was a rogue attack, a wild attack by members of the Metropolitan Police Department and the Gun Recovery Unit as they violated the Fourth Amendment rights, the constitutional rights, and they violated the human rights.
Now remember, if they're residents, they're not human. If they're residents, they don't have constitutional rights. They're only under statutes and ordinances and acts and codes. Constitution doesn't apply to residents. Why would he call them residents? When they said that they're Moors, which means that they're Aboriginal and indigenous to the land. They're not residents. Hey, they're not residents if they said that they're Moors. So how come he's calling them residents? Oh, and just like the Moors say in the chat, well, that's what the attorney said, so we're going to go with what he said because the attorney said it. How come the attorney didn't tell you about impropria persona? In one owns proper person. That is a rule in pleadings that pleas to the jurisdiction of the court must be in propria persona. Because if pleaded by an attorney, it admits the jurisdiction. Here you go, letting them admit the jurisdiction. Because lawyer guy, attorney guy, who's an officer of the court, is speaking on your behalf because you're black, so you need representation. Even though we have the video proof to show that they can speak for themselves. They can speak for themselves. They can speak for themselves. But, you know.
who were here, who were seen on that now infamous video that has gone viral throughout the city. And we saw on June 13th, we saw these officers without reasonable suspicion, without probable cause. We saw them detain illegally, search illegally, assault illegally members of this community. And that's why I, on behalf of Black Lawyers for Justice, am here. We are here to declare to the Chief of Police, Newsham, and to the Metropolitan Police Department that Black Lawyers for Justice and the other organizations who are here, that we will not sit back and allow a out-of-control police department to violate the constitutional rights of members of this community. We're just not going to tolerate it. So we have launched an official civil rights and human.
When last time you hear them black guys talk about some human rights? You think they're not playing you? How are they talking about human rights, but they're not talking about the article of the human rights that say you have a right to a nationality? Black's not a nationality. If you're a resident, you don't have a nationality. He called you resident. Go look up resident. And while you're there, look up occupant. Then look up dweller. People have been playing you because you don't study. The only reason why you get played, why you have nothing, because you don't study. Once you don't study, then you're victim to whoever studied. And whoever studied, remember, he's a lawyer, so he studied law, the white man's. Remember, that's the same white man stuff that Moors will be telling people. The stuff, it's the same stuff. He's just not giving you the goods. He knows what Moors know. That's why he can talk all that constitutional stuff and all that. He knows exactly what Moors know. How come he's not telling you about nationality? Huh? How come? No? Crickets? Crickets, huh? Mm. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he did all that stuff for you, huh? Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, he had a march, justice or else, and all that BS, right? Well, no or else happened yet? Nothing? Nothing at all, huh? Oh. Oh, but they're violating some human rights or something, but when the justice or else stuff was going on, nothing happened. So how are you gonna do something now when you didn't do something for the before stuff? Or 1995, a Million Man March, were you supposed to do something for that? Anything get done? Nothing? Oh. Oh, you still have the big car. People still getting shot up and stuff like that. No, okay. Girls still getting raped and all that type of stuff. People still putting stuff in people's drink and all that. Women still being whores, calling it dancing because they can get through school and stuff like that. But you've been doing something to help our people. Really. The Moors aren't naive. Moors aren't naive. We know what the hell's up.
Human rights investigation into everything that has happened here. We have interviewed many. We have interviewed and contacted many who were even arrested in retaliation. Many who had cell phones slapped and knocked out of their hand by Metropolitan Police Department officers. So again, we have residents who were illegally searched, residents who were assaulted, pushed around, shoved, residents who were held against their will
for an unreasonable amount of time. We have residents who had their cell phones.
Oh, no. There's our R word again. How come he's talking about human rights, but he's not calling you nationals? He's calling you residents. How come he's talking about human rights and constitutional rights when we just read Noble Drew Ali? When Noble Drew Ali said constitution and rights and stuff like that, national was in there, not resident. How come he's calling you resident for? He's really calling you resident? You're not realizing what's going on? Pleas to the jurisdiction of the court must be pled in propria persona. Because you're in the jurisdiction once the attorney's pleading for you. Attorney's pleading for you right now. Pleading for you to have your rights respected. He's gonna do up a suit and all that stuff and plead for you to the black guys to have some rights respected.
Knocked out of their hands and slapped around by the Metropolitan Police Department. And we have launched this investigation, and we will pursue litigation against the Metropolitan Police Department for their actions. And we're not going to tolerate it. And we're going to look into this, and we're going to file litigation on behalf of any of the victims if they so choose. So that is a fundamental statement today that we have investigated. We have found again that the District of Columbia Metropolitan Police Department officers, the gun recovery unit, violated the Fourth Amendment and constitutional rights of those that were here, that they assaulted those who were here. We allege that Peter Newsham has failed to train, Newsham has failed to monitor. Newsham has failed to supervise his officers, and thereby they have been let loose to commit crimes inside of the community and then to intimidate members of this community. And Black Lawyers for Justice and Attorney Shabazz are not going to tolerate it. I have with me the new Black Panther Party.
They're not going to tolerate it. Now, hold on a second. Article 4 of the amendments. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue, but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. So how is it that they're going to tell you about some constitutional violation by these highwaymen, but they're not calling you a free national name? They're calling you a dead status. It's all a game. It's all a game. Won't be surprised if you check their books and you see that Europeans be hiring them for their little trial, whatever they're going through. And they come to you and play, drag you along. European stuff done tomorrow. Lawsuit over. They got a conference and all that stuff for you, for your stuff. So we want to thank Baba TV for bringing us the news, the hood news, so we can know what's going on out here. Analyze things with the mind open so you can realize that it's a good thing that I study so I can see the BS. I'm able to see the BS and know when somebody's trying to play me. And because of their actions of trying to play me, that voids me having relations with them and considering them to be my brother and all that type of stuff because they're in my community talking. If you're not talking for the upliftment of the people, right, remember, his law whatever and the Black Panther whoever and the Black Muslim whatever are the ones that are going to handle this. They're in King Alfred plan as agents of state, federal, municipal, you name it. Over there, your brothers, and cool, no worry. Now do your thing over there. We'll be Moors over here and do our thing. Want to send a big Islam to all the Moors. Peace and love to all Moors worldwide. Because you already know. We can't take the BS. You'll be watching all these guys BS talking all this black crap for no whole another 30, 15 minutes. Forget that. We already made our point. So those who are open-minded, you already know what you should be doing. Finding out more. To all the people who are already there, Islam to you. Keep studying, first and foremost. And never forget your ancient forefathers, the Moors. We're already here, Moors. Islam to everybody who's waking up and coming into the truth about their nationality and birthrights and making it known to the world in any way that they can. Peace and love to all the Moors who are instilling this information into their children so that their children are living as Moors, but as children, not as adults. That's a whole different realm in itself. So Islam to all the great parents out there. And of course, supreme honors to Allah for sending us our Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. And don't forget, August 10th, 11th, 12th, I'm going to be with my good brother and the fam out near Rhode Island. We're going to be discussing Noble Drew Ali, Moorish Divine National Movement, discussing new Moors. We're going to be discussing a little bit of everything. I want the Moors to get it twisted. Right? This is my brother. Don't get it messed up. Saturday, August 11th, 10:30 to 4:30. Riverside Branch Library, 475 Bullocks Point Avenue, Riverside, Rhode Island Territory. Rise of the Moors at gmail.com. If you have any info, questions, whatever like that. If you want to, make your way to town, you want to know where the hotel's at or whatever like that, motel's at, where you could stay at for the night if you're staying the weekend or if you're just doing the one day, whatever. riseofthemoors@gmail.com for any info. Islam to the Moors worldwide. Peace and love to everybody. Give thanks for the energy and time. And as we say, Islam to all. Islam to all.
Artist Union. Yo, my principles. That's why I was dead, right? MKRX 84. Once all melanites behind cage doors. In front the idiot box, drinking cores, watching sports. At the picnic, first in line for walks. Can't find your mind. Some say that it's lost. Moral science says divine souls got tossed, abandoned. Love is my ammo, peace is the cannon. Truth is the ayahuasca talking through the shaman. Freedom is the freedom, justice I must get. Tears fall like no shot with the pilgrim's muskets. The ruckus I bring, but this ain't Wu-Tang. Hold you accountable, Shimitar takes it 2 hands. Sent up the frankincense from Sudan. Big up to my elder and the God Moses holding up move bag. Rainbow flag rapping Fruity Loop 2 cans. Same company got cola in 2 cans. Different labels. You're navigating L is your label. Make sure rules. Watch the goddess not cable. My property, now the rights of the archives paper. Ex-knights now sheiks of the round table. Ancients return to reclaim and learn how to not to succumb to the combustion burn. Astral projection, as above, so below. So you know off the cosmos we're reflecting. Yo bro, laws of nature, make the sun hate you. Hybrid cockazoid, I'm all pro but not rapanoid. My deep mob, make devil's horns keyboard. Don't get my Islam twisted with jihad. Don't get the Muslim mixed up with Muslims. Don't mistake the Mufti force for hoodlums. We giving back Islam and his story. Taking my story, creating a myth story. That's what's hidden. It's not called Satanism. Men thinking they're wise, but they lack wisdom. Need I say more? In my proper person, I got judges tearing up the bonds and cursing. I self-law and master. No guns, let God be world and blast ya. No need for times, we got the feds. Rituals make them roll down the steps like the Aztec heads. I self-law and master. No guns, let God be world and blast ya. No need for times, we got the feds. Rituals make them roll down steps like Aztec heads. Most say they ready for consciousness, I doubt it. Application is the path, but some reroute it. The most I can say is, we'll see about it. Mother Nature sets fires and they can't out it. They take votes, I know the truth, but they can't shout it. I plant the seed in your mind at the highest route. Just like Jack's beans, roll a soccer sensei scene. Empty ashtray hanging from the loose kente. Bobo be in on the djembe, calling Orishas. Oh, hailing Garisman or the niggas. Red, black, green candles, golden flame. Make you think so much and end up with a swollen brain. Cause even she can see that he's in create her. The point creatress is the only creator. I self-law and master. My son now run my birthrights a sound run. God the macabre. Around me revolving X-Alpha or David Star. I'm shooting at your squadron. Illuminate my higher self, see from afar. I'm so against jail, I can't rhyme in bars. I self-law and master. No guns, let God be world and blast ya. No need for times, we got the feds. Rituals make them roll down the steps like the Aztec heads. I self-law and master. No guns, let God be world and blast ya. No need for times, we got the feds. Rituals make them roll down steps like Aztec heads. 5 on the left, 2 on the right. Artist Union. Punches. Artist Union. I self-law a master. Whirlwind blast ya. You got the feds. Aztec heads.
In the name of Allah and Ali, Islam to all. Join the MST. You should hear about birthrights and nationality. For you are not Negroes or what you claim to be. In the name of Allah and Ali, Islam to all. Join the MST. You should hear about birthrights and nationality. For you are not Negroes or what you claim to be. Learn your foreparents' ancient divine creed. Since 1913 I've been planting the seeds. Enemies planted agents, I had to leave. I know it was abrupt, but bear with me please. Among the many teaching, man have two selves. These are lower and higher. You want the one that justice breeds. Uplifting the Moors. Be yourself is what you need. Ancient forefathers didn't salat on their knees. Not even under his own vine and fig trees. Fell asleep before abandoning divine creeds. Denationalized since 1774. Now you hurt others with hands, tongues, and thoughts. Confused at the roads when you see them cross. The object of Moore's life is to unfold, of course. Islam doesn't teach we were born in sin. If unlimited capacities can be found within, humanity has been left at the mercy of those who in them have no mercy. If only Allah guides the Moorish movement, the faith in your prophet, please don't lose it. In the name of Allah and Ali, Islam to all. Join the MST. You should hear about birthrights and nationality. For you are not Negroes or what you claim to be. In the name of Allah and Ali, Islam to all. Join the MST. You should hear about birthrights and nationality. For you are not Negroes or what you claim to be. Coming as he did with a national message. Many disrespect and don't get the lessons. Following the speakers, not the words spoken. Connect to the higher powers, all wires broken. This is our prophet, and there's none left. False prophets point followers to the joys of death. Circle 7 says Jesus, but means Ben Yosef. Where you find Allah, we know the heart is closest. To find a real prophet in these days is rare. Most propagate a faith to have the people in fear. Together we stand, divided we fall. Prophet said, study the Constitution, cause law is all divine and national principle specific. His call to all loyal and faithful Moors is specific. Most made our prophet suffer severely in the past, waving banners with the claims of a national flag. In the name of Allah and Ali, Islam to all. Join the MST. You should hear about birthrights and nationality. For you are not Negroes or what you claim to be. In the name of Allah and Ali, Islam to all. Join the MST. You should hear about birthrights and nationality. For you are not Negroes or what you claim to be. If you have race pride and love your race, join the MST and you must make haste. If Europeans help, then why not you? I'm your prophet. Who you think I came here to? Redeem from the slavery state that's mental. Get off your 4 legs and out the kennel. This field is open to strong men and women, willing and seeking the kingdom of heaven. Lack of sincerity is in the churches. Lack of truth makes all religions worthless. I took a red pill and blue pill to know the ledge. Tree of life ciphers dance in my head like sugar plums. If you're sick, lime and a shot of rum. New wine and old skins will have you wasting some. Tried for many years, they still blind and dumb. Standing on the corner pushing crack and crime and guns. Hanging at high noon. A star called sun, bleaching the sellouts' bones dry, and they asking why. Schemers walk and traders grin all the time. On the high road, I watch them fall for the last time. In the name of Allah and Ali, Islam to all. Join the MST. You should hear about birthrights and nationality. For you are not Negroes or what you claim to be. In the name of Allah and Ali, Islam to all. Join the MST. You should hear about birthrights and nationality. For you are not Negroes or what you claim to be.
You remember the last meeting? I was speaking about religious freedom. I was speaking about how if America said mass vaccination of smallpox, how we could say we don't want to get it under religious freedom. Right after that, didn't the president announce mass smallpox and vaccination and everything? So it's just showing you we got to stay in tune with the time. The prophet also said, quote, prophecy number 57, he said, quote, watch the newspapers and listen to the radio. I am going to make the European tell the truth. So he's saying in the last days, listen carefully. What you hear in the newspapers, what you see on the news. He's saying because he's going to make them tell the truth at that time. And if you listen carefully, you can distinguish the truth from what they're saying.